Right now, as you listen to my voice, your brain is actively working against you. Somewhere deep in your subconscious, a sophisticated biological machine is scanning your past for failures and your future for catastrophes. It isn't an accident, and it isn't a disorder, it is a design. But what if you could redesign it? What if I told you that happiness was never the goal of your evolution? What if I told you that the very mechanisms that kept your ancestors alive are the same ones making you miserable, anxious, and burnt out in the modern world? Yet science offers a way out. Stay to discover it. We are told that we are the masters of our thoughts, but science suggests something far more disturbing. We are living in a biological trap. A cage built of neurons and neurochemicals that we didn't choose, and that we don't know to operate. But imagine unlocking that cage. It's possible. Most people will spend their entire lives as prisoners of their own biology. They will call it stress, they will call it depression, but they will never look at the blueprints of the cage itself. Today, we are going to look at those blueprints and find the exit door. This is not a self-help video. This is a cold scientific autopsy of your suffering. Right now, we're going to dismantle your brain's ancient hardware, and I'm going to show you why your mind is your most dangerous enemy and how to make it your greatest ally. If you've ever felt like you're fighting a war inside your own head, it's because you are. But what if you could win that war? Let's begin the battle plan. To understand why your brain traps you in cycles of anxiety, we must first meet the gatekeeper. Deep within your brainstem lies a small, finger-sized network of neurons called the reticular activating system, or the RAS. This system is the ultimate filter. Every single second, your senses are bombarded with millions of bits of data. If your brain tried to process all of it, you would collapse in seconds from sensory overload. So the RAS decides what gets through to your conscious mind and what gets deleted. But why does it ignore the good stuff? Let's dive in. But here is the catch. The RAS doesn't care about your happiness. It only cares about importance. And in the eyes of evolution, a threat is always more important than a reward. Imagine your ancestor walking through a forest. He sees a beautiful flower, and he sees a shadow that looks like a snake. Which one should the RAS prioritize? If he misses the flower, he loses nothing. If he misses the snake, he loses his life. Over millions of years, our filters became hyper-tuned to the negative. This is what psychologists call the negativity bias. Research shows that for the human brain, the pain of a loss is twice as powerful as the joy of a gain. This is why at 3 a.m., your RAS isn't showing you the 5 things you did right today. It is searching through your memory like a hungry predator, looking for the one thing you did wrong. It is looking for the snake in your social life. But it gets worse and better because we can recalibrate it. Once the RAS identifies a pattern of worry, it begins to prime your brain. If you believe you are a failure, your RAS will actively search for evidence of failure in the world around you, while literally blinding you to evidence of your success. You are not seeing reality as it is. You are seeing a reality that has been edited, censored, and distorted by a biological filter designed for a world that no longer exists. You are living in a modern world with a brain that is still terrified of tigers in the bushes. But what if we could update that filter? The commander of this system is about to be revealed. Stay tuned. If the RAS is the filter of your reality, then the amygdala is the alarm system. Deep within your temporal lobes sit 2 small, almond-shaped structures. Don't let their size fool you. This is the oldest, most primal part of your emotional brain. Its job is simple: to detect threats. But what if that alarm is ringing too often in modern life? But here is the problem for the modern human. The amygdala cannot distinguish between a physical threat, like a lion chasing you, and a social threat, like an embarrassing comment you made in a meeting. When the amygdala perceives a threat, it triggers what scientists call an amygdala hijack. In less than a millisecond, it bypasses your logical prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that thinks, reasons, and plans. It shuts down your intelligence and floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline. What if a simple label could calm it? Let's explore. Think about the last time you felt a sudden wave of anxiety. That cold shiver, the knot in your stomach, that was your amygdala taking you offline. In that moment, you are no longer a modern human. You are a cornered animal. Have you ever frozen in panic? That's the hijack. I just got terwanan saikurat. But you can interrupt it. From an evolutionary standpoint, this was a brilliant design. If you see a shadow in the jungle, you don't want to sit and logically analyze if it's a tiger or just a bush. If you stop to think, you die. The humans who survived were those whose amygdalae were hyperreactive. We are the children of the paranoid. But in our safe world, this is causing unnecessary suffering, and we can retrain it, but in the 21st century, this hyperreactivity is a catastrophe. Our amygdala is constantly misfiring. It reacts to an unread email the same way it would react to a predator. It keeps us in a state of chronic, low-level stress that melts away our health, our sleep, and our happiness. You are literally living in a state of false positives. Your brain is telling you there is a fire every single day, even though there is only smoke. To stop the alarm, we have to understand the feedback loop between the amygdala and another part of your hardware, the prefrontal cortex. The war between your ancient brain and your modern brain is where your misery is born. But what if you could shift the power? The next chapter reveals the war and how to win it. Imagine your brain as a chariot pulled by two horses. The first horse is your ancient brain, the amygdala and the limbic system. It is powerful, fast, and driven by raw emotion. The second horse is your modern brain, the prefrontal cortex. This is the part of you that wants to meditate, build a career, and be happy. The problem is, these two horses speak different languages. Have you ever felt that internal conflict? That's the war, but you can win it. Your prefrontal cortex tries to use logic to calm you down. You tell yourself, there is no reason to be anxious. Everything is fine. But your amygdala doesn't understand English. It only understands neurochemicals. When your ancient brain screams danger, your modern brain tries to explain why there is no danger. This creates a massive internal friction. We call this cognitive dissonance. You know you should feel fine, but your body feels like it's dying. This friction is exhausting. It's why you feel burned out even if you haven't done much physical work. Your brain is a theater of war, and every day, a battle is fought between your desire for peace and your biological instinct for survival. This war is further complicated by something called neuroplasticity. Every time you let a worry take over, you are literally strengthening the neural pathways of that worry. You are building a superhighway for anxiety, but there is hope. Because just as you can strengthen the path of fear, you can also build a bridge of logic. To do that, we have to look at the default mode network, the reason your brain won't shut up when you're doing nothing. What if you could finally quiet that inner voice? The next chapter reveals how. Have you ever wondered why your most painful thoughts always arrive the moment you try to relax? You finish your work, you sit on the couch, or you lay your head on the pillow, and suddenly a flood of self-doubt and cringy memories hits you. This is not a coincidence. This is the activation of the default mode network, or the DMN. Scientists discovered the DMN by accident. They noticed that when people stop focusing on an external task, a specific circuit in the brain lights up like a Christmas tree. This circuit is responsible for self-referential thought. It is the part of the brain that tells the story of you. But because of the evolution we discussed earlier, the story your DMN tells is rarely a happy one. What if you could rewrite that story? Calibration can quiet it. Coming up. The DMN is a time machine. It pulls you into the past to analyze mistakes so you don't repeat them. And it pushes you into the future to simulate disasters so you can prepare for them. It is a survival simulator that never turns off. In the modern world, we are constantly overstimulating this network. We never give our brains true rest. When we are bored, we reach for our phones. This prevents the brain from processing emotions in real time, leading to a massive backlog of thoughts that explodes the moment you try to sleep. Understanding that your late-night anxiety is just the DMN performing a system update is the first step to silencing it. But to truly break the loop, we have to look at the fuel that drives this machine, dopamine. What if you could finally quiet that inner voice? The next chapter reveals how. We often think of dopamine as the pleasure chemical, but science tells us a different story. Dopamine is not about pleasure, it is about anticipation and pursuit. It is the chemical of more. What if that more is quietly destroying you? In the wild, dopamine was rare. Finding a fruit tree or a mate gave our ancestors a spike of dopamine that motivated them to keep going. But today, we live in a world of supernormal stimuli. Infinite scrolls, clickbait titles, and high-calorie foods are designed to hijack your dopamine system. Every time you check your notifications, you get a tiny hit. But because dopamine is about the chase and not the reward, you are left feeling empty seconds later. This creates the dopamine loop. Why does scrolling feel endless? It's the mirage, but escape is possible. You feel anxious, so you reach for your phone to get a hit of dopamine. The hit wears off, leaving your baseline dopamine lower than before, which makes you feel more anxious. You are trying to put out a fire with gasoline. This constant stimulation fries your D2 receptors. Over time, things that used to bring you joy, a walk in nature, a deep conversation, a good book, start to feel boring. Your brain has been rewired to only respond to high-intensity digital noise. We are living in a state of reward deficiency syndrome. We are the most stimulated generation in history, yet we are the most dissatisfied. The biological trap has a final cruel mechanism. It makes you believe that the cure for your pain is the very thing that is causing it, but escape is possible. To the final part of our protocol, the neuroplasmatic reset. If you have followed me this far, you now understand the terrifying efficiency of the biological trap. You know that your anxiety is a relic of evolution, and your exhaustion is a side effect of a hijacked dopamine system. But the most incredible feature of the human brain is not its ability to suffer. It is its ability to change. This is neuroplasticity, your power to rewrite the rules. To escape the trap, we don't need willpower. We need a biological protocol. Let's dive into the 4 pillars. Here are the 4 pillars of the neuroplasmatic reset. Pillar 1. The dopamine fast. Imagine lowering your baseline by choosing boredom for 30 minutes a day. Do nothing. No phone, no music. Visualize your D2 receptors recovering as silence becomes your ally, not a threat. Try it today and feel the shift. It's actionable and easy. Pillar 2. Amygdala training. When panic surges, name it. My amygdala is misfiring. Picture your prefrontal cortex activating, pulling power from the ancient brain. You shift from victim to observer. Practice this next time stress hits and see the difference. Pillar 3, the RAS calibration. Every night, find 3 micro wins: a good coffee, a smile. Imagine your filter resetting from negative to balanced, not gratitude, but training. Do this nightly and watch reality change. Start tonight. Pillar 4, physiological size. Breathe. Double inhale through nose, long exhale through mouth. Feel the signal to your brainstem. You're safe. Visualize the predator gone. Use this hack anytime for instant calm and make it your daily tool. We live in a world that is obsessed with fixing us. We are told we are broken, that we need more pills, more products, more distractions. But now you know the truth. You aren't broken. You are a biological marvel living in an environment you weren't built for. The pain you feel is just an old compass trying to find north in a world of magnets. You don't need to fight your brain. You need to lead it. The journey out of the biological trap doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow, steady process of rewiring. But every time you choose silence over a screen, every time you breathe through a panic attack, you are winning the war. You are becoming the architect of your own consciousness. If this deep dive helped you understand the machine inside your head, then share it with someone who is currently trapped in their own mind. Knowledge is the first step toward freedom. Thank you for watching, and remember, your brain is a tool. Don't let it be your cage. If you want more brain hacks like this reset protocol, subscribe now and turn on notifications. Next video will show you even more ways to master your mind.